Salutations, I am called Algernon Q. Whipplebottom. It is with great reverence that I serve as your guide on this telegenic offering, which aims to celebrate, at most significant of mankind's achievements, the child's plaything, colloquially known as the toy. Over my many years, I have enjoyed a thirst for these whimsical artifacts of joy. Indeed, I have acquired a great number of their exemplar. I wish merely to share my great affection. Join me, won't you, on our journey as I have the destructive pleasure of introducing our next exhibit. I give you Kenner's Micro Collection Death Star World. The Death Star. Perhaps no other villainous layer was more aptly christened. The very name Death Star sends fear throughout the galaxy, a fear that reverberates to the furthest reaches of the most remote, desolate systems. A dastardly construct with one purpose, complete and total annihilation. The Galactic Empire created the Death Star to instill fear. Certainly, once this space station demonstrated its destructive capabilities, all hope was lost. But storytelling is the most marvelous creation in human history, because storytelling teaches us that when all seems at the most dim, there is always a flicker of light. A group of renegades, thrust together by fate, will ignite a full rebellion against their oppressors in the most legendary cinematic epic ever to grace the silver screen. From that legendary epic was born a legion of fans who clamored for toys depicting these adventures. This is Kenner's Micro Collection Death Star World, a vintage play set. Kenner weren't the first to create a toy line based on a movie. They weren't the first to create play sets to capture the imagination, but they perhaps were the first to make them sing. Kenner's original 3 3/4-inch line of Star Wars action figures is as monumental achievement as ever there was in toy history. Someday we will explore that magnificence, but our next venture into this everlasting joy that is the Star Wars toys is oft forgotten. It's the vastly underrated Star Wars Micro Collection. Shrinking from 3 3/4 inches to 1 1/2 inches, what the figures lost in articulation, they gained in complete immersion. The small die-cast figures allow for closer-to-scale environments and vehicles. Released in 1980 in support of The Empire Strikes Back, a simple examination of the play features is all that is needed to reveal just how wondrous this play set remains after all these years. Rescuing Princess Leia from the detention block was among the most exciting of scenes. Here one can place the characters in the corridor and the control room. As stormtroopers emerge from the elevator, a hatch opens, depicting the moment when the feisty princess blasted a hole in the corridor for the heroes to escape. Of course, the relief from that escape was short-lived, and the heroes found themselves at a trash compactor. Here they are amongst the space flotsam, with little hope of escape until R2-D2 releases the hatch. A mechanism inside the playset automatically releases said hatch. Remarkable. Whilst the band of heroes were narrowly avoiding being a lot thinner, as the irascible Han Solo quipped, Obi-Wan Kenobi was endeavoring to deactivate the Death Star's perimeter force shield so as to allow the rebels to escape. Here we can see a marvelous depiction of that scene. The Death Star was the main base of operations for the Empire in Star Wars. Therefore, legions of stormtroopers were present aboard. There are, in fact, 2 elevators for transporting troops from one section of the space station to another. Among those 2 lifts, one is detachable, allowing for the creation of the seemingly bottomless shaft where Luke and Leia made their daring escape while fending off stormtrooper blaster fire. The most memorable event to occur aboard the Death Star was the lightsaber duel between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. Recreated as the cargo hold door that would eventually separate the escaping Star Warriors. So silly to call them that. But as I stated in the Millennium Falcon chapter, Marvel's early Star Wars comics made an attempt to brand them as such. I do find it ever so humorous, don't you, Jordovic? Yes, it's quite a laugh. The movie climax, since widely known as the Battle of Yavin, was the movie's most awe-inspiring scene when audiences first glimpsed a galaxy far, far away in the summer of 1977. We will examine the Micro Collection X-Wing Fighter, TIE Fighter, and the Millennium Falcon in our next chapter, among others. But the Death Star cannon, that which inspired the galactic run of fear, is placed here. It could also serve as a turbo blaster for defending the space station. Nevertheless, it has a wonderful destructible play feature which could be used to imagine the moment just before Luke Skywalker's heroic triumph. Now, it was ever so much fun to present this artifact, or artifacts, of joy. I have found Star Wars to be synonymous with the holidays, as so often my Christmas morns were awash in the glory of Kenner's Star Wars toys. This playset is rivaled only by its counterparts, all of which we shall examine here in the coming weeks as we march into the most wonderful time of year. Until then, we shall dim the lights.